Hello, writers. I'm Josiane Fortin, and today I am interviewing Christine Osoria. So, Christine is the self published author of Rosalia, the Honduran American. So, thank you so much for being on the show, and please tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. So thank you so much for having me here and being able to share my story with your community and anyone else that listens. My name is Christina Osoria. I'm a mom of three, a wife for over 15 years. Um, an empowerment and business coach, author, motivational speaker, and I guess my little hobbies, because I always love to talk about that. I love to run, and I also love to eat pizza. I have to say, I always like to break the ice on all the things that I do.
Yeah.
But I am an author, I'm a business coach, and I've been in this business in coaching for a couple of years now. And so I recently just launched my book. So I'm super excited to share that story here with your community and how I've even gotten into in the self-publishing world.
Awesome. How long have you been coaching, and what are you you said how long, but what specifically are you coaching about?
Yeah, so I do women's empowerment and business coaching. So empowerment in the sense of teaching women how to build their confidence, how to own their power, how to go after your goals and dreams. And the business coaching side of it, for anyone who wants to start building their business, is really more marketing, how to show up confident on social media, how to build your brand, how to build your guest speaker sheet, and getting a lot of clarity on how you want to build your business and how you want to be known. And I think that's really important as authors and anyone who wants to build a business, how important it is to build your brand, right? And talk about it confidently, and not just on social media, but everywhere. And getting very clear on who your ideal client is and how you want to launch your program. So that's what I do on the coaching aspects of it. And then I guess the love of what I do is the writing. So, aside from the coaching, I do the writing.
Okay. And why did you decide to write this first book?
Yeah, honestly, it was a book that I felt like was really needed. But more also, it's also my story and also my own children's story. Rosalia, she's Honduran American. I'm Honduran American, and I grew up in New York. I grew up in an area where it was very diverse. But unfortunately, living in a diverse community, that doesn't mean that people know about different cultural backgrounds or nationalities and stuff like that. And growing up, I realized that there was a lack of Honduran representation in my community. And truth be told, besides my family members, I was the only one that any of my friends knew that I was Honduran. And becoming a mother, I'm a mother of three, so I have teenage kids and I also have a 5-year-old. I started noticing, and also by them telling me, that they were going through the same thing that I was going through. So I remember when, my daughter was in middle school and she said to me, Mom, people, and she's half Dominican and half Honduran. So she said, Mom, people know where Dominican Republic is, but when they hear Honduras, they don't know where that is. Mm-hmm. And it kind of brought back memories of when I was a child. And I guess from there, in my experience, I said to myself, I think I would like to write a book. And I think I want to share my story on, being Honduran American and share with people about who are Hondurans, right?
So the main point, the main point of your book, is it about your culture, or is it about fitting in and you're born in America, but you're from another culture? Is it about that? Or you want to share your culture?
Yeah, well, the book is mostly about how to embrace your culture, even if you're one person out of many that's it's different. Learning how to embrace your culture, learning how to stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself. But it talks about Honduras. So a little bit about who we are, like our food, our music. But in reality of it, the main message of the book, aside from Rosalia's Honduran American, was really about how to embrace your culture wherever you are and never to be ashamed of who you are, wherever. So that was the main message for children as well as adults.
Yes.
So, yeah, because I think we all need it, right? So I really felt like, that's really the main message of the book: how to embrace your culture wherever you are and never be ashamed of who you are.
And how long did it take you to write this book?
It took me about 11 months, I have to say. Now, I remember writing it around February, January, February, around that time. I didn't finish the book probably till like December. So it was about 11 months. But truth be told, I did put a hold onto it between that year of 2019. And a lot of it because it was emotional for me at one point, and I was so scared. I was scared to put my story out there. And
which part was scary about it? Like, I want to know exactly what it was.
Yeah, the scary part about it was, where will this book go? I guess was one of it. Like, can I really call myself an author? Especially from someone who, yes, English is my first language, but truth be told, my parents are immigrants. So my parents' second language is English. And being the oldest child, I had to teach myself a lot. So I had to teach myself really how to speak, how to sound words, how to write. And at times, even today, I'm 34, but I still struggle with some of my English language because I kind of mix it with my Spanish. And it was all those emotions, right? Of, is this book enough, right? But then it was on the flip side, it was also the emotions of, am I ready to share my story? Am I ready to put this out there? There was no book out there about being Honduran. And while I felt this calling to write this book,
because there wasn't any, so it was needed.
Yeah, but I felt this calling, and I'm getting goosebumps. But while I felt this calling to write this book, it was that fear of, am I ready to share? Am I ready to tell people, that there was moments in my life that I had difficulty sharing about my nationality, or how I wanted to fit in, how I was scared to say I was from Honduras. Did I want to share that? So in between of just writing the book alone, I had this big fear of, what will people think? Like, am I considered an author? And I hope that makes sense, right? And I think I've spoken to so many authors, and I know they have gone through the same thing, but it's scary. I think it's scary because it's a scary first. It's scary to put yourself out there, and also, thinking, right? You have this fear of what can happen. Where will this book go?
Yeah, I get you totally.
Yeah.
And do you plan on writing more books, or was it just like a one thing?
No, I do plan on writing more books. Will I go the self-published route? I don't know yet. That's still up in the air for my next couple of books. But I am in the process of writing my next children's book, and I'm also in the process of writing a novel. So I do see that there is representation is needed, right? And I want to write more books about, different things about being Honduran, especially a young girl growing up and embracing our culture. But there's so many other things that I also want to write. So I think with that book alone, it has definitely encouraged me to continue writing and putting these stories out there, because these stories are needed to be told.
Yes, definitely. And what advice would you give to someone who's looking to write a book but hasn't done so?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel that if you have been wanting to write a book, and this is the vision that you have, right? A goal, a bucket list, whatever, it doesn't matter. I would say go for it. And start small, right? Maybe take out a journal and just write your thoughts, but go out, just write it, just start writing it. And don't think about the future yet. Just think about how will it feel just to at least write these themes down, these scenes down, and see where it goes from there. But I would definitely say go for it, because it is an amazing experience. And also, you just don't know who else you will inspire,
right?
And whose life you can make a difference just from your story.
Yes, I love that. And what do you think was the hardest thing about becoming a self-published author? Like the self-publishing thing, was it the technical part? Was it like the editing yourself or the illustrations, the cover? What was it?
Um, the prompt for me was editing. Editing being number one because I do not like to edit. I have to say, like I rather write it, but when it comes to editing, I'm not so great on it. So editing was part of it, and chopping down things that I know that just didn't belong. Um, Also, the whole process of self-publishing, like for me, I chose KDP, right? And I didn't know what I was doing. And I was just reading. I was doing a lot of research. So aside from the editing, I had to say, like, just putting the whole format together, and trying to find someone to help me to put it into a format so it can go for KDP. For those that don't know what KDP means, is the Kindle Direct Publishing. So, those are the things that I was struggling with in terms of the whole process. So yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And do you have a specific way to promote your books? Like what has worked for you? Is it social media? Is it podcast? Is it like a YouTube? What do you do to promote your books?
Yes. So, and it's, I think that authors need to understand that when you go self-published, right? Like this is your baby and it's your business, and you need to put yourself out there. You can't be afraid to put yourself out there. I have done, yes, social media has been a big thing for me because I've been building my brand for so many years, right? But aside from social media, I was going to school before the whole entire shutdown. I did like one or two school events. I also reached out to TV networks. I reached out to on YouTube, collaborating with different people. I did podcasts. So as an author, you have to think big, and especially when you're self-published, try different things to get yourself out there. YouTube, podcasts, TV networks, like and even radio shows. Like think of where can I get this book out to and how. So and just put yourself out there. So that's what I've been doing. Any opportunities I can get, I've honestly been taking them because, during the pandemic, I had all my events shut down. So I had to find different ways to collaborate. So, just, social media, YouTube, podcasts, TV networks have been such a great source for me and how I've been promoting my book.
I'd like to hear your advice on this. Do you think an author needs to promote him or herself as an author or more promote the book, the product itself? Is it the person or the product that they need to put forward?
Yes. So that's actually a great question. You know what I mean? Depending where, I have to say, it depends where you are putting yourself at, right? So like, for instance, on social media, I share who I am and what I do, my writing, my work, and whatever. Now, let's just say if you definitely want to start talking about your book, like, you want to have a YouTube video or TV interview, talk about your book and talk about the process and talk about your story. So it all depends on where you are going, if that makes sense, right? So
yeah, so who you're talking to, is that what you mean?
Yes, who you're talking to. So if you're on social media, right, for instance, if you are building your brand on social media, share with your community, about your book. Maybe share a script or two, right, about it. But also share with your community what you're doing, right? Like, what other things are you doing, your lifestyle? That way people could get to know you. And then when you are on YouTube, or you have all these interviews, definitely promote your book if that's where you're going for, right? Talk about your book, share it, talk about it, what's the process, a little bit about it, snippets. So I really think it depends as to where are you marketing, and you have to figure out how are you going to attract your ideal client towards you and your book.
Makes sense. Have you been using paid promotion to get visibility for your book or for your coaching business?
I haven't, I'll be honest. I haven't.
So everything is organic.
Everything has been organic.
Okay.
I have to say everything has been organic. And it has been like really connecting with my community. Really putting myself out there, even in those moments that are scary. So everything has been organic. I have to say that, like, thankfully, I have not been able to. I just haven't been put into ads because I've just been putting myself out there organically and really promoting my book or either myself, and depending what I'm doing.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
And do you have like one last tip for people who are looking to self-publish, like something that they need to look into, something that they should learn?
Yeah.
About marketing?
Yes, definitely. So if you are a brand new author, or you have an author that has books, and you're asking yourself, how can I market myself, right? How can I get myself out there? I would definitely say use social media because it's free. It's really free advertising, and connect with your audience, right? Ask questions with your audience, what they would like to see from you, right? And even ask them, do you guys want to hear a little bit about my book? Like, get connected with your audience. And share your book, share those testimonials out there in your social media or whatever platform. Even if you don't have social media, you can become a successful author. I'll just have to say to put yourself out there and don't be afraid to share who you are, right? Let people know that you are an author, that you have a book, and the reason why you started this book. Build your confidence daily, right? Like, get yourself out there. I know it can be scary, as an author myself, as a business coach, it's scary to put yourself out there, but know that you wrote your book for a reason, and that reason was to inspire others and to share that story. And there's no reason why that your story is, you need to act like you're number one, because you already are. So, put yourself out there, market yourself in a way that that someone needs it. Always think about who else needs my book today, and think about that every time that you are out there. And I hope that answers the question. I know I said a lot.
Yes, and since like it seems like a topic that's really close to your heart, like being different, like growing up, like do you feel like people that look different need to put themselves out there more? Like what would you say about, like, do you have like something to say about diversity? We've been hearing about that, and being an ally, like how can I be a better ally, or just sharing your specific experience about this?
Yeah, definitely. Even myself, like, I have to say I'm still learning, right? I'm always consistently learning, because it's about being, trying to learn and do things differently. So to answer your question, for anyone who, about diversity and stuff, right? If you're, if you're different, right? If maybe, maybe you are from a different country, you haven't seen a book out there, right? Like, share that publicly, right? And talk about it. Because again, I truly feel that your story, only one person can tell your story, and that's you. And only you can say it, only you can tell it the best that you can, right? No one else can. And have those conversations, right? And talk about, the things that you've gone through, right? Like I have, right?
Yes.
And again, if you are, whether you're an author or not, right? Because this goes for both, whether you are an author or not, or you're thinking about being an author, you're an aspiring author, don't second guess on what you're about. Is my story enough? Your story is enough. You just got to share it, right? If you're different than others, right? If you're like Rosalia, who finds herself in a community with diversity, but the only child who's Honduran, like, be her and just talk about it to your community, because people need to hear it. I really think that we need to stop being scared to share the difficulties that we've gone through life, right? And also, how can we as a community come together to learn more about other people? Like, how can I, right, learn more about you or about anyone, right? So we need to be open to these conversations and not be afraid to have these conversations, right? Because everyone grows up differently, So I will have to say is, just don't be afraid for the conversations. And if you are someone that is looking into putting yourself out there, get out there. You know, people want to hear you. There are people that want to listen and want to learn more. But the only way that we can do that is if we let the fear go and we share our story publicly. Yes. And let people know who I am, who I am. This is my story. And, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, or I'm looking to help X, Y, and Z. Like, get yourself out there. That's really what it is.
Yeah, we need to hear different voices, and
yeah,
it just opens up like so much my mind when I hear different life experiences, and it makes me realize that my vision of the world is just like one perception. It's not like it's not like the truth, the universal truth. Like what I'm seeing is just my interpretation from my brain. And so it's so much fun to meet new people and read new people. And I'm so glad that you came on the show, and I'm so glad that you wrote about Rosalia. It's really good that you shared your experience. And I feel like kids, when they read that, they will feel normal. It normalizes what they have experienced or lived. And so it's really nice that you get to share that.
Yeah, and so many kids feel included, right? Or feel like they are part of, like they can be seen, right? And I know that's a big topic nowadays, is being seen, and we need more people to stand up to show the younger generation, right? But show also other people from different ages and different backgrounds that they are seen, that they are heard. And that was, part of also the reason, because growing up, I didn't see a book that looked like me. I didn't see an author that looked like me. And it's unfortunate, right? But as I gotten older and I'm a mother, I'm like, okay, maybe it's my turn to step up, right?
Yeah, you get to be the model.
And showing other people that they can too, right? It's the same thing like for you as a podcast, or, anyone out there, if you see that there is something missing, then just, be the first one, take the lead. And then show others what is possible, because I think that's what this world needs. It's showing possibility, showing that everyone can make it, small or big, right? And that, we can all win here. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today. If people want to know more about you, where can they connect with you?
Sure, you can connect with me through Instagram. My name is Christine Osoria, ChristineOsoria. I just spell it out just in case. Facebook, and as well as my website, www.christineosoria.com. And you can always contact me, message me if you have any questions, and if you want also the book, everything will be there. That way, you can always get in contact with me, and I'm always here to answer any questions in terms of self-publishing as well as marketing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to share all those links in the show notes. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.